Greetings, wholeness. This topic is about natural bowel movements, and Ziggy can't wait to talk about this topic. So, do you want to start?
Oh man, this was a little bit. I want to say deep a little bit. I would say just because there's so many aspects that has to be talked about. First of all, like what is not natural to a degree? Because that natural is a kind of like a biased term nowadays. Where I'm natural, but you shave, or I'm natural, but you cut your nails,
Or the natural makeup look.
yeah,
Not natural at all.
or you're natural, but you take a shower and use soap, and it's like the animals don't use soap, and we're comparing ourselves to animals, in nature and how they act to a degree. But in this case, for natural bowel movements, though, as far as like thinking that if you poo once a day, I guess that's natural for people. That's what they consider natural, I believe. Is that right?
Yes, even though you've eaten like 4 or 5 meals throughout the day.
Yeah.
Heavy meals. But you've only pooed once. When usually your immune system works as in what you put in must come out, right? So what you put in is not coming out, and you just keep putting in, right?
Let alone like what we are eating, it's not natural at all. We can say for now using animals for example, right? A general example. Cows eat grass and dogs. I don't know. Dogs eat anything, but yeah, cows eat grass and tigers eat lambs, whatever. I don't know, and they're kind of eating what they're kind of supposed to eat per se, as far as we know. But us as human beings, especially nowadays, we're eating like the most ridiculous stuff whatsoever. It's only getting more and more far away from nature. As in like just all these chemicalized foods, and
in order to digest them, when it in its natural form we would not be able to digest them to begin with. And even though we alchemize it and everything, yet it is still damaging. Like the properties that's in there is still very damaging.
Yeah, like you might pull out majority of it per se, but there's residue leaving in there and like toxic residue, and you're having like so people are going to claim they have natural bowel movements when they're eating unnatural foods in the first place. So how can you have a natural bowel movement while you're eating unnatural foods? That already right there correlates a contradiction right there itself. So then people later start eating more natural foods, but it's still unnatural residue in the body, and they still are following this natural theory of natural bowel movements when that shouldn't be like they kind of wrap their egos around that. So when we talk about the enemas, they will consider that not a natural thing, and it's like this goes beyond what considered natural. Natural is very subjective to a lot of folks. Simply saying, "Oh, it's not natural." Oh, they're in a car, something like that, or using a telephone, or shaving their back of their legs, or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's kind of like what is normal now, like the new norm. Like we know the new norm has been pushed onto us, right? So that's kind of where we're going with the whole natural theme. It's like, what is natural? When things are being pushed onto us, we don't really get to decide what we really eat except for what's already there. You know what I mean? Like in the stores, it's like Oreos or, and that's it.
I mean, cooked food too, right? They say cooked food is unnatural. We cook food, right? And that's unnatural. And it's person, preaching, oh, natural is not natural. That is doing again all these contradictions.
I'm going to place a video in now of what is not normal that comes out of the bowels. When we are eating unnatural foods, our bowels are not going to be natural. So it's going to need help to promote a bowel movement because it's so sticky, dehydrating. How the bowels actually work is through hydration. Like,
and natural foods are hydrating foods to a degree. And,
yes.
Again, it's complicated, but yeah.
Of course.
Well, I guess it's natural. Yeah, natural food. That's how it should be, right? To our knowledge. And just, again, like...
And less irritating. Like, the drier it is, the more dehydrating it is, the more irritating it would be in the bowels. And then it's so dry in there and has like we don't stay hydrated, right? To like promote like softening the stool and exactly bowel movement.
We're calling natural. We're not calling hotep. We're not calling this. It's a bowel movement.
Right. So it's just staying there, irritating, fermenting, becoming acidic, and all of that.
And also too, even when you have a bowel movement, first of all, it's important. It's not being natural. What's important is clean our bodies out. Make sure our bodies are cleansed out to be in a more higher level, natural, supernatural, state, we want to call it. And we all see that photo where it's like the inside of like a blood vessel, and like it'd be like meat eater, and the inside lining of the blood vessel is very thick crust. They see like vegetarian or something like that, and it's a thinner crust on the inside diameter of the blood vessel. So we gotta address that too as well. The same concept going on also in our intestines, or in our colon, brain cells, our brain vessels, etc. The whole body, lymphatic system, follicles, eye vessels, etc. Like the whole body, So yes, you're pooing out solid matter, but the diameter of your intestines is still laced with crusts and sediments all around it. So we're adjusting the diameter, of crust on the walls of the intestines and cleaning that out, so we're more thoroughly cleansed. And yes, you're pulling out every single day, but you're not pulling out the actual crust, the hard, thick crust that's plaqued on the walls.
That's been accumulating for decades.
Yeah, exactly, and constantly been impacted against the walls for decades. Oh, now you're in your 20s now, you're vegan and this and that, or you're paleo, etc. X, Y, Z. But there's still so much to like address on that, and doing the enemas helps you get that deep, thorough cleansing, and you're not misinformed, and you think you're clean, you're pulling this much, but you're not getting out the like plaque that's up against the wall of the diameter of the intestine and colon, etc.